What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Harry the Horse Barbecue, and today we are making a big old 30-day dry age reverse sear firebox tomahawk ribeye steak. That's right, this beast is going to be smoked and seared on the Fat Stack FS120. This is a steak to end summer right. Let's get it.
Harry the Horse Barbecue.
A tomahawk ribeye steak. We've all seen these. They are massive ribeye steaks left on the bone that essentially resemble what a tomahawk looks like. Now, instead of just talking about this tomahawk steak, let's go shopping for a tomahawk steak. This tomahawk is looking pretty good. Now, we all know the tomahawk steak. Massive, thick-cut ribeye steak still left on the rib bone. And it is a showstopper for sure. Now, I picked up this beast of a tomahawk ribeye steak over at my local butcher called Marbled Meat Shop. I'm always cooking up stuff from there because they've got some sick proteins. And this one was no exception. This is a 30-day dry-aged tomahawk ribeye, and I could not pass this up. Yes, it's expensive, but it's well worth it. Now, with the end of summer upon us, I thought I would go out with a bang and cook up a killer tomahawk ribeye steak on the Fat Stack. You know that griddle has to be utilized before the end of summer. So we are going to reverse sear this bad mamma jamma, and then we're going to sear this off on the firebox of the Fat Stack 120. So enough horsing around, let's get this tomahawk out of the pack. Now, I mean, just take a looky-loo at this bad mamma jamma. That is a beast of a tomahawk. Now, with the tomahawk, they French the bone down, meaning that they take all the meat off the bone, and it's really just meant for presentation at the end of the day. Sort of a handle that you could use to flip this around while searing it, or just gnawing it off the bone when it's done cooking. So the first thing we're gonna do with this tomahawk ribeye is to season it with salt. Give it the good old-fashioned dry brine to make sure that salt penetrates all the way through the meat, so we don't have a really flavorful exterior and a bland interior. Let's get it. Now I'm gonna go down with some Morton's coarse kosher salt. Morton's is good for certain applications. I feel like seasoning really thick cuts of steak is really appropriate for Morton's coarse kosher salt. So let's use it. Just getting it on there. And you're not gonna over season this. So make sure we get the fat cap. Steak is all seasoned up with kosher salt. Into the fridge for about an hour. Give this at least 30 minutes, I'd say. We'll check back in an hour, hit it with some more seasonings, and then we're on to the Fat Stack with this beast. Meet y'all back. An hour and a half later, our tomahawk has been dry brining in the fridge, and we're ready to hit it with the rest of our seasonings. 16 mesh. It is going on. Nice and heavy with it. This is what's going to attract some smoke, build a little bit of a crust when we sear it off. We want to get every part of this steak. Just a wee bit over the top, just for a little extra flavor in there. That garlic is going to get a little roasty on the cooker. And then just a little bit of granulated onion because it tastes good. Make sure you give her a pat. This tomahawk is not horsing around. We got it nice and coated with all of those spices. Those are gonna get roasty on the cooker and get nice and charred on the flat top. The reverse sear process is gonna allow all those spices to just adhere to the meat. Then by the time we're ready to sear, we're just gonna build that crust, and all that flavor is gonna get locked right into the tomahawk. Our 30-day dry-aged tomahawk ribeye steak is all seasoned up, and it's ready for the cooker. So let's go fire up the cooker. Let's get it lit. Nice. We're gonna start to smoke off this ribeye between 250 and 275, and we're gonna rock that tomahawk until it hits an internal of about 120. Then it's time for the firebox sear to finish off this beautiful dry-aged tomahawk. So enough horsing around, let's go get that tomahawk and throw it on the fat stack. Let's go. Dry age reverse sear tomahawk steak time. This fat stack is gonna do this justice. Let's get it on. Up and under, okay. All right, we're gonna go bone towards the fire. Something just like that. We're gonna let this tomahawk get super smoky, super delicious. Let those seasonings adhere. Should take maybe about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, somewhere around there. We'll bring you back when we pull it and it's time to sear. But until then, let's close it down. Boom, shakalaka. And what could I possibly do for 30 to 45 minutes? What? There's a blue behind me? A blue? Where? Here's our blue. I know what I'll do. See y'all in about 30. Now, one major thing here, y'all, when cooking a steak, you want to nail that internal temp. And although every piece of meat is different, the internal temperature range between 120 and 130 for most ribeye steaks is going to be that medium rare territory. Now, if you have very little experience cooking steaks, especially through the reverse sear method, you might want to go ahead and use an internal probe thermometer. If you so choose, your thermometer port right here, ow, that's hot. You could have set up a probe through that port, stuck it into the meat, and you could be reading the internal temperature as you go. But I'm gonna come back every about 30 minutes, check on it, use a thermopen to monitor the internal temp, and just go by feel to see when that tomahawk steak might be ready to pull. But this fat stack gives you plenty of options to monitor your cook and cook the way you want when cooking whatever you want. All right, we're a little over an hour in on this Tomahawk ribeye, cruising nicely between 250 and 275 the entire time. Take a look. Oh yeah, looking like a beast in there. Let's see where we're at. Perfectly around that 120 mark. Let's pull it and let it rest right on this wire rack. Close up shop. All right, y'all, in order to get the griddle super hot, I'm gonna close down the cook chamber. Damper to the smokestack is gonna go wide open. The shutters on the firebox are gonna be wide open. We're gonna let air whip through this beast. Try to get that firebox around 500 degrees while this steak rests. Close it down. Boom. Wide open damper, check. Shutters wide open, check, and check. Throw on a split. Let's start to prepare our firebox tomahawk. All right, while the steak rests, let's get our griddle top fired up with some Wagyu beef tallow going on. While that's rocking, I'm gonna throw down half a head of garlic to get that going. Start to hear the sizzle. While that's going, we're gonna get some rosemary and thyme going. And just so y'all can see, I loaded this firebox up with wood, trying to get that griddle as hot as possible. I think it's time we throw this tomahawk on. Just scoop some of this tallow back out. One more scoop for good measure. Here we go. Oh, that is the sound we want to hear. Let's go. Let me just scoop some of this tallow that's pooling on the back side of the ribeye. And for reference for y'all, this cooker's at about 300 degrees internal. Let's see what we're working with. Not bad. Let's give her a flip. That crust is looking sick. I'm gonna go right on top with that garlic now. These herbs. Basting this in that tallow pool. Oh yeah. Cannot beat a Wagyu beef tallow basted tomahawk steak with rosemary and garlic. Dunk our rosemary and thyme right into that beef tallow. Can't forget about it. It is hot. I'd say she's ready to pull, rest, and then we'll slice in. Just a pro tip when you rest your tomahawks, y'all, or any steak for that matter, throw your rosemary, thyme, and garlic right on the steak while it rests. It is smelling so good up in here. Oh my goodness. Move all this garlic and rosemary and thyme out the way. I mean, come on, y'all. This tomahawk is not horsing around. Who wouldn't want some of this? Let's get it. Right down that bone. I mean, I ain't trying to brag, but looking good so far. Perfect for me. A nice medium, I'm all about it. This little tail part is just some of the best parts of the ribeye. I tell you what. Oh, it's just so tender. Juices are flowing. That's the ribeye burnt end right there. This piece kind of fell off. Oh my God. Whoa. Oh man, that one bite just says it all. I gotta go back in. That is stupid delicious. Toss in a little head of that garlic. Don't throw that away. What? Oh, that garlic is so roasted and mild, and it's kind of sweet. That steak is perfect. I can't get over how perfect this steak is. Oh man. I was like, oh, you know, I'll share this with some friends and family. I don't know how much is gonna be left before they show up. It's so tender. Oh my, this is the best steak I have ever had. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is the best steak I've ever had. It is the slightest bit smoky. It's like salted all the way through. This flavor is ridiculous. This dry-aged tomahawk ribeye steak is so good, I just can't stop. I have not had a steak this delicious, ever. That 30-day dry age is like the perfect sweet spot. 30 days, perfection. Yeah, I cooked the tomahawk and did it my way. 30-day dry age. It's got flavor for days. Hit the subscribe button, make sure that you engage. 30-day dry age. This is the most tender steak I've ever had in my life. Tender, check. Flavor, check. Juicy, check. Fatty, check. This tomahawk is hitting all the flavor profiles that you want. That thyme and that rosemary really come through. That beef tallow adds this succulent juiciness all throughout. And that garlic, pop, you can just throw them back. Herby, garlic, basted, beef tallow goodness. Go give this a shot. Support your local butchers. Got a little pesto here from Marbled Meat Shop. That'll go pretty nice with this steak. Yeah, that is damn good. Could literally do this all day. Thank you all for tuning in to Harry the Horse Barbecue. I really appreciate you checking out this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel below. I know you want to do it and it really helps me out. Let's grow this channel. Hit that subscribe button below. You know we got that crispy exterior from that firebox out there, so go ahead and leave a like on this video. Leave a comment down below about how you think that firebox sear performed on this tomahawk and if you think it's a pretty neat feature. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we're posting new content, and you can follow me on Instagram at Harry the Horse Barbecue. Tag me so I can see what y'all are cooking. It really inspires me to get outside and cook. And with that being said, there's only one more thing, y'all. This one is going straight to the horse's mouth. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. Mmm.